Ready? Yep. Hello, I'm James Lewis, and I would like to introduce ProgressLocal. Our function is to pull all the collected business data from Colorado Secretary of State records through their API. Our focus is to unify and enrich the data, streaming into all of the available marketing channels such as apps, Yelp, Google, and all other online business location services or directories. We do this by leveraging the SOS database to automate listings syndication. The problem is data is collected and it quickly becomes stagnant and dead. Also, this attributes to bad listings. Our solution is to automate listings that turn dead data into opportunity data. Our research shows that by comparison, many business listings are not evenly parsed, don't exist, or are in fact inaccurate. With so many services, this is a problem that must be solved by all businesses. So we built a free web-based tool that scans the internet to identify all missing and inaccurate data related to a specific business. A user signs up for a business license with the Secretary of State, Colorado, and is then offered the option of having an enriched listing compiled and syndicated on their behalf. We then charge the business owner $50 annually to post and synchronize the data with all relevant location services, maps, apps, and data brokers. This means we can potentially double the revenue of the SOS and set in motion valuable data otherwise unused. Services like this market for $500 annually. Our API will reduce that cost by 90%. This will impact all local businesses by making them more findable. What we need now is to evangelize, build, and grow. We ask for the Secretary of State and Colorado support to pursue this vision. My team and I thank you for this opportunity. We've had an amazing weekend. We've met some really interesting people. We've heard some great ideas. I wish the best of luck to everybody. Most importantly, be found. And we're already online, ProgressLocal.com. I'd say about 90% of everything is functioning. Cool. Start the questioning. It looks like I'm a little bit ahead of the game, so we've got 2 minutes, 7 minutes.
Can you scroll back to all of the services you're gonna pull, if you will?
Sure. The widgets of all the
there we
There
go.
will be more than this. In the long run, we want to connect to almost 100 services. Anyone with an API that'll take our data.
Robbie Jack, our CTO.
So would you like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Could you clarify just two little things? What's your entry point, and within that particular segment, what's your current most fearful competitor in that
Most
focus?
fearful competitor would be like Yext or ProgressLocal, who does a very expensive high-end kind of similar service. But our differentiator really is we want to connect with the business right at the point when they file their LLC, so they get their data in fresh, and they get it to all of these services. A lot of business owners, they forget to do this, they don't do it, they hire someone who screws it up. This is why we see this inaccurate data on Apple Maps and Google Maps.
So from a sales standpoint, it's very expensive to try to sell to just any business owner. Do you have a particular?
I want anyone with a local physical location who's trying to go online to offline, is trying to get local citations, do local SEO and things like this. I want to save them money and I want them doing something they should be doing and have like a high value service. I think, if every state offered this, they'd be doing SEO for their constituents by helping getting their data. Instead of paying a black hat, agency that's going to charge you all this money and do this for you anyway. But it's pretty transparent how this works now. So like people should be spreading their business listings around, and they're not. And it's not that expensive to automate this. It's really not. Everyone's building APIs, there's like connectors, a lot of tools. So we were able to quickly MVP this, and we still got a lot of work to do, but we've got a very clear model of how this architecture will work.
So how many of these did you tackle?
This weekend, unfortunately, we're not syndicating. Right now, what we have is, let me show you the live site. So we have not built a syndication engine. That's kind of the pitch. What we're doing to get that point across, we built basically a database with enhanced metadata and listings, and we have imported the entire database set from the APIs. However, we have not gotten into this map yet, but we have those staged and ready to go. What we do have is a couple entries we've thrown in. For example, this is all live. We'll just click a random one, AutoNation. When this comes up, we're using schema.org markup data to semantically mark up the reviews, the location, this is a small business in a city. A lot of other things. We're also providing social sharing here. This review though, this is just a proof of concept. This is just another profile with another backlink or metadata. What we really want this is to be kind of our view of your data, and then we push it out to everybody else.
It's basically, you have to give this certain amount of information to file for a business license. Then that information just sits there. So we give it sort of a kickstart and put it in motion. Yeah, we monetize it, but it's not really about how much profit we make. What's great is it kind of stimulates our own ecosystem by the following. The business owner can come here, they can find their business name, they can claim it, they get an email from us. When we're done with our development, what we hope to see is, so they'll get an email that will give them a link that will bring them to a form fill. Obviously, we already have a pretty good start of information via the Secretary of State, but then we task on these other necessary vital, such as their hours, if they have multiple locations, what their website is.
And we'll use other APIs to enrich this too. So we're not just going to ask, put all the load on the user and say, well, we need your hours of operation. We might be able to pull that.
So how does this speak to the challenge?
The challenge is, okay, so the first challenge, and this is kind of a stretch, but I'll throw it out there anyways. The first challenge is location, and we think your business is a digital location or a virtual location and a real world location. People are drastically undervaluing the digital location. So we're really putting the data in motion, like you said.
You don't exist if you're not already out there spread out.
Our biggest competitor is the SEO industry, because they're out there charging a lot of money to do this, and we think they're overcharging. We really do. As people who do this every day, we can't believe what some people charge for a service like this. We do manually, so.
Imagine, if you go to an iPhone and you search on Apple Maps for a Honda dealership, as we did in one of our surveys, you find less than you do when you go to Google. Now, that's a problem. Why is Google taking over the homepage of an Apple product? That makes no sense. So we would consider communicating with Apple Maps. Hey, we have all this information about businesses, and where they're located, and a few other goodies.
We see this working on every state. So by getting the sign off from the business owner as they register, it's proactive. We're saying, okay, it's $50, you got your LLC. What next? Do you want us to hit a button? Do you want us to distribute this for you? You want to start using the new, there's 100 phone books out there. Do you want to get them? It's a no-brainer.
So did you guys know each other before this weekend?
Yes.
This is pretty exciting.
Well, this is how we work. We love these hackathons. We think this is really good for business. This is just a new, modern era. Anyone can be an entrepreneur. If you have passion about some product you want to make, and you see a market out there, you put it on people, validate it, go for it.
We help a lot of small businesses with their marketing, and it's hard for us to justify $500 for like a competitor like that.
Where are you identifying the classifications from? Just out of curiosity, are those part of the data set, or are you
No. So this is an issue. So we're using Alchemy API to auto tag. This is the thing we didn't mention. Using Alchemy API, another Denver company, really cool artificial intelligence API. We're parsing the business content we're entering and we're pulling in. We're trying to pull summaries and data, and there's a lot of work to do. We manually entered a lot of this data right now, but hopefully using Alchemy API, we can auto tag and auto categorize with semantic analysis.
A lot of it's manual on the website right now, but that's the point. The point wasn't to show you a product, to have the concept, the plan, but we kind of had to just do it anyways and get most of it working, and then understand, okay, as developers and engineers, if we can make it work manually, and we understand how to create automation as programmers in any language, then that's the next step.
And automation is really the key, right?
Automation.
We want to use software to stop people from doing rote tasks. Rote task is filling out the same form 60 times and storing up the data all in the process. So we want to use algorithms and code and servers. It's to streamline that. And people are doing it, but we want to do it cheaper and with the state.